Today we are mainly be focusing on bike designing. So while sketching, I will be discuss how you could draw and how you could imagine something new in terms of bikes. So for reference, I have taken a sports bike. So there are some industry standard which you need to be taken care when you are drawing a bike or you are sketching a bike. So the first point which is very important is the proportion. So to get a right proportion in terms of a sports bike, you have to take 1.5 wheel difference from front wheel to rear wheel, which is very important because if you not get that things right at the point, then you get lost the proportion and the imagination which you are trying to draw. So you have to be take care of the proportion which is universal. So for that, I have already been taken three wheel, sorry, 1.5 wheel difference, which is something to get a right proportion, and then you could imagine your or you could transfer your ideas on that. For example, I'm just trying to draw by taking care of chestis area, then body parts, and then how I'm trying to imagine the oil tank, what is the curveness, what is, because see there are some different aspects after having a idea of designing something which is going to be unique in terms of market understanding, what is running in the market, what kind of new idea is trying to pitch in your design is something crucial in the terms of user aspects again. So what new you are trying to give, how much it is useful for them, you have to be taken care lot many points in terms of form follow features, in terms of use case, in terms of ergonomics, how interestingly you have giving the comfortability to the user, understanding the form. So I would say when any kind of design is done, so there are some division in it. So there are some engineering aspects, there are some design aspects. So when you see the bike, the if you see the chassis and all the mechanical parts, so that has been designed by a engineer, design engineer. So they are connected with a designer, and then they are making a project or they are designing something together. So as you could see, it's not just a design aspect, it's not just an engineering aspect, it's a group work. So again, when you try to draw, you have to be little bit understanding of the design background about it, and then you could easily replicate your design and easily imagine something new when you know what is your purpose in terms of making something new. Yeah, maybe you could try to introduce some unique kind of chassis which not has been introduced earlier. But there is again a engineering aspects come inside it, that is there workable in the environment. You have to be discussed with an engineer, and yeah, if it's possible and it having some unique feature which you are trying to give, yeah, definitely that can be a good collaboration with engineer and designer. And yeah, while designing the aerodynamic is one of the clear aspects when you are trying to draw a sports bike. So how you giving a body a kind of aerodynamic, it's easy to a rider to get a very high speed, still having a good comfortability between it. So as I'm trying to draw a sports bike, I'm just trying to give some of the depth and emboss and having an angle of understanding, and then giving a depth to the body in which air could easily be flow. And that is something is not only a aesthetic perspective, it's something a form follow function. So there is always be when you in real life, you have to be think something which is having a right impact, just not for look. So if it's, and a sports bike is one of the critical environment, so whatever you are designing is need to be very much suitable for the environment which it has been designed. As you could see, I'm just almost getting cleared about the form, and you could easily imagine how it's going to be look like inside view. Now we are jumping to the basically perspective view where you could understand some more depth behind the bike, like how the thickness and how bulky is the form, how creatively it has been designed in terms of aerodynamic, in terms of feature which has been given to it. So as you could see that I started with 1.5 wheel difference from front and rear wheel, which is very much important because I am designing, and not only designing or not only sketching, I am designing for someone, and I have to uh, make my sketch and clear it out and finalize my design in not only one stage. There are thousands of stages done, and then one design will going to be shortlisted that we are going to be in that direction. As you could see, I'm almost making the form look how it's going to be look in the 3D, and you could easily there is no very rocket science when you are trying to sketch. It's all about the practice, how you try to put your impact multiple times. You could easily be generate that kind of form. Just need a practice and the give you a confidence to your hand, and that will definitely will come based on your practice. How much you have done, how much you are doing the sketches per day is very important. As you could see, the form is almost coming out like how it's basically look like. And yeah, then we will be going to jump to the coloring part of it. So I'm basically using alcohol marker to give depth to the design, because in terms of design, the surface is one of the most critical point. How you are giving a kind of a depth as the place which having a very good chamfer or which having a very good bevel, and how you are trying to give it a aerodynamic flow to it so that it create a strong rhythm in the terms of form is very important. And yeah, that's how and while doing the coloring you could easily create that kind of depth. So now you could easily visible that I'm almost getting clear about how the form is basically look like, and how a rough sketch get a right proportion can imagine something very unique in terms of form, in terms of anything which you are trying to imagine in your mind. So that's all from my side for today videos, and stay tuned for upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.